And cut that shit off. It's the Nightcap Crew. What is up, everybody? If you are here, you are in the right place. Without further ado, welcome to the Nightcap Crew.
If I'ma spend, I gotta pay for some friends. Let me pay for some friends. If I'ma spend, shot a brain, your friend.
All right, everybody. It is welcome to China and welcome to my channel. And baby, you are here in the right place. It is the Nightcap Crew. It is the messiest late night show on Wednesdays from 9 to 10:30. Sometimes we'll be a little late because I said we can get a little messy. But with that being said, we have some new crew members to introduce you guys to. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Jack, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
What's poppin', everybody? This is Jack Coleman. Happy to be here with all you guys tonight. And if you want to check out my newest podcast, it's What's Poddin' with Jack Coleman. You can find it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, so hit me up.
All right, make sure you guys hit up Jack, and you're on your third installment coming up soon?
Yeah, it's going to be our third episode tomorrow. So, yeah.
Tomorrow. So all the more better. You got 2 more to listen to before tomorrow. So get on it after the show. Make sure you guys check out What's Poddin'. Danielle, go ahead and take it away.
Hey guys.
Oh, we lost you for a sec. Hold on, babe.
Can you hear me?
Yep, you're good now. Go ahead.
My whole fucking jerry rig setup just fell down. I'm Danielle, the host of the Red Flag Collectors. Basically about how my life's comedy, and you just saw that live, so that's me.
There we go. But we're here and we in action. Tam, go ahead and take us away. Tam Berry, actually, because Tam, we had the Berries on last week.
Oh yeah, House of Berry all day. Oh, my name's Tam Berry. Tam Berry. I'm part of the House of Berry. Go follow them at the House of Berry. House is spelled Haus. I am an actress. I am a, LGBT rights activist, a Black Lives Matter activist, and I'm just excited to be here. So thanks for the invite, China.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. All right, Nicole Thespiana, let's get into it. Introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nicole Thespiana. I have a YouTube channel. It's rather small, but I do have some videos coming out in the mix. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for joining us. And last but not least, TikToker Livy Rose. You're on mute. Bitch, Corvette, hop in the mouth. Come on, Livy. You on mute. Oh, Livy. Hold on, I got you. Go. Oh, Livy Rose, we lost that. We lost. Oh,
you muted me.
I know. Go ahead.
If you like TikToks, if you're on TikTok, it's Livy Rose 97. I make a bunch of different stuff, but I don't dance.
She don't dance. All right, but she TikToks. All right, a lot of food, a lot of fun. All right, so before we get into it, we have a lot of comments. So we got a comment from Pretty Boy with a lot of 3s and a 1. What's up, Pretty Boy? We got London Blocka. What's up, London? We got London. We got Say Love. We got London again. Who's here for London? London. Who's here for London? Tam, that's you? Uh-oh, meet me at the London. Okay.
Yo, those are like all my friends, my sorors. That's represent the gangs in here, man.
Okay, we got Cheyenne. Don't y'all start acting up. LOL. We got Pretty Boy laughing. It's in our nature. We going through. Yep, it's time to go. I got a little cold drink for y'all. Thank you. The crew better have one. Okay, intro. Let me grab my bonnet. Chow, you're stressful. Hey, Tam coming through tonight, y'all. I don't know, y'all. I think Tam's shitting on us. Tam is what? Tam is here.
If I'ma spend, I gotta pay for some friends. Let me pay for some friends. If I'ma spend, shot of brains, your friend.
Morgan, that's my girl. Finally, I had somebody. Hi, Morgan. She came through. Danielle said yes, and Elijah said, okay, Scarf. I think that's for me. Thank you, brother-in-law. That's my brother-in-law. Team, light-skinned team. What's up? All right. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now, our first topic of the night, as you can see, now, how many of us have seen the movie Friends with Benefits? That's probably about 15 years ago, back when Justin Timberlake was still acting and before Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher got together, all that. Who remembers that movie? Everybody remember that movie? Put a hand up. Audience, if you remember that movie, go ahead and drop a fire emoji if you remember the movie Friends with Benefits. Now, that's what brought me to think about our topic of today. It's all about friends. Friends you get freaky with, friends you don't get freaky with, platonic, non-platonic friends. That's what we're talking about today, Nightcap Crew. So we're about to get into it. When I woke up this morning, I seen a post, and it was telling me about how Jada Pinkett Smith, who, those who do not know, she is married to Will Smith, so Will Smith's wife, she was very good friends with Tupac Shakur. Everybody knows who Tupac is, correct? And everyone knows who Jada Pinkett Smith is. Okay. Back in the day, believe it or not, Jada and Tupac were close friends. They said they never dated, but they were thick as thieves. Now, that's old school tea. Now, everybody has been saying over the past couple of years, after Jada and her entanglement and all that she's always been a little bit messy, but, Will has been beta mailing it out and not, holding his woman as tightly as she could. Because to me, if Tupac came across any young lady, I think that Tupac gonna give Will Smith a run for his money. That's just what I'm saying. But anyway, the reason why I'm saying this is Jada Pinkett Smith is celebrating the legacy of rap icon Tupac on what would have been his 50th birthday. Now, I'm just going to say this now, y'all. It would have been Tupac's 50th birthday, which is already crazy. So how old are you?
Yeah.
So anyway, the whole reason why I'm bringing this up is because she wanted to go ahead and write a poem for Tupac for his birthday. She said, of course, I went down memory lane on the Red Table Talk and I reflected in an Instagram video ahead of his birthday. Over the years, he wrote me many letters and many poems. I don't think this one was ever published, honestly. I was like, I don't think he would have minded if I shared it with you guys. So she shared the poem Lost Souls, and this is the poem. Right here. She posted it here. It says Tupac Shakur. Everything's here. I'm not going to read the poem. It's a poem from Tupac, but everybody was cutting up on social media, or at least on Black Twitter, saying this is clown behavior almost. You got this man posting Lost Souls from 25 years ago. Tupac has been dead for 25 years, literally. Tupac was dead in 96. So, honestly, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't think that I think about opposite. If I was a celebrity on top of that, and my man had an ex-girlfriend who was like somebody popping, and like Lisa Left Eye or something, and I'm like, Aaliyah was his ex-girlfriend. I'm like, you're not gonna post no music from beautiful Aaliyah on my page. So that's just how I'm feeling about this. And this has been going on. But again, you have Will Smith, so it's not like Will Smith is a punk either. But his wife is doing some weird stuff. So Tam, how do you feel about this? Let's get you to start off. Was this appropriate from Jada Smith?
So I've been going back and forth with this whole thing, because I didn't really see a major issue with it, but on the same hand, I can see like how people feel, because one, you just had this whole big blow up with August Alsina. Now that was super messy, and so now you just going on another track where you just dropping this Lost Souls poem. Like, how many other birthdays or anniversaries could you have posted this, and now you're just doing it? But on the other hand, I kind of just feel like that was her friend. They was real close. Maybe that poem kind of meant something to her where she didn't want to share it with the world. And now turning 50, if he was still here, he would have been 50. That's a big birthday. So maybe it was just something that she felt, I want to share this with the world, just in memorization of a good friend, a good rapper, someone who lost their life.
I had a question for you, because this was like a little too cookie cutter. You wouldn't feel no way about this? So come on now. Just no way about it? A deceased poem about an ex? I guess that's a bigger question, because we know people who have had exes who pass away, correct?
Right.
How do you show homage respectfully, or do you not?
Oh, okay, I ain't gonna lie. I would feel a type of way like, dang, why you still thinking about your ex like that?
Yeah, so don't BS us. Come on now. We're people. We're people, right? We have feelings.
We do. Oh, okay. I see where you're going. But yeah, I would feel a type of way. Like, it would be like, dang, you still thinking about this person? But, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of on the fence. It's like, I understand, like, I would be mad, but at the same time, like, I don't know, I feel like it's a little sympathy aspect to it too.
Do you think that their relationship went any farther?
I think so, because she just said she was kind of friends with August Alsina. So, and I think that they did a little way more. So the way they used to act, you can see the chemistry between her and Tupac, like on a different world. Their chemistry was like not just on camera chemistry, so you could tell. I think they had a little secret rendezvous, little benefits here and there.
All right, Danielle, you're shaking your head. How you feel about this?
Okay, so I agree with Tam. Like, as soon as you said this, I was like, I don't care what she says. They definitely fucked. 100%. Like, no, they definitely fucked.
I won't deny it. California love.
Right. No, they 100% definitely did. But I would say I kind of get it from like, it's a big birthday standpoint and they're friends. But also at the same time, like, I bring it to where, like, I think about, like, for example, like with Ariana Grande and Mac Miller, like the first like year well, okay, Jack, I see you shaking your head at me, but I think she posted like the first like year after it happened, but I think after a while and people are like in different spaces, I think it's like less appropriate, especially because she's married and especially because she literally just had this whole issue. Like, I think that 100% people are going to come out and be like, okay, like they definitely fucked. She's sharing his handwritten poems to her. Like, it's a little weird. Like, I would be, if I was Will Smith, I would be kind of like, all right, like I get that was your friend, but this is like a little weird to me.
So you think that they got freaky for sure, 100%?
100%, no doubt, no doubt.
Do you think she had a conversation with Will? You think Will knows?
If they had sex?
You think Will knows the dynamics? Obviously, they're famous on top of that, so this isn't everyday shit. So you think they had a conversation before? So he not really embarrassed to them, but to us maybe?
I mean, I would hope that they would, because they are very much like in the public thing, and like nothing with celebrities is kept a secret. So like it would come out eventually. So I think she would have been upfront and told him if they did.
All right. Before we get on, we got a hot show tonight. Make sure you guys are hitting that thumbs up button. Make sure you guys are giving everybody a follow, and make sure you guys are subscribing to my channel. Again, it's hard to put on things like this, okay? One thing that I was watching, which is very funny, I watch so much weird stuff on TV, but I was watching an interview with a porn star, and they were saying it's so hard to get group sex scenes and threesomes together because you got to get everybody's schedule. So this is a group scene, and it's hard to get everybody here and ready to get freaky. So that's a weird analogy. I don't know where that came from. I had a little bit of a candy bar before I got here, but you guys get what I'm saying. It's hard.
If I'ma spend, I gotta pay for some friends. Let me pay for some friends. If I'ma spend, shot to burn your friend.
I've heard that in the interview that it is the hardest scenes. Anyway, I think it was on like Call Her Daddy or something like that. Anyway, shout out to them. Nicole Thespiana, what you got for us? Was this inappropriate? I know you got to think this is inappropriate. Come on. You're a woman of grace and morals.
Okay, so for me, I feel like so long as she had a conversation with Will before she posted it, it's okay, because it's all about mutual respect and boundaries and proper communication. So if she told Will, like, yo, Will, this is a poem that really meant a lot to me. It's, Tupac would have been, he would have been 50 by now. So I'm going to post this. And if Will, he's like, okay, cool, do what you got to do. Then that's fine, because yes, Tam, she did bring up a very good point where she could have released it sooner. However, everybody grieves in their own way and at their own time. And I felt like also that Jada was now at a point in her life, because Tupac did mean a lot to her. And I feel like now she's at a point in her life where she can share a little bit more, because, there's no time limit and there's no schedule to grief.
Now, would you be cool? Would you be cool with that? With no time limit, no schedule on grief? Young man like my ex, Susie Duty, she wrote a poem. She was a writer. His ex over here, Maya Angelou. And you cool with that? I'm not, because okay. You guys are putting yourself in each other's shoes. Like, come on.
Yes. Well, if I'm going to be like real honest, my mindset, the way that I am right now, I honestly don't see myself being in a serious long-term monogamous relationship if you're still like having that type of deep feelings for your ex, non-ex in that way. I don't think I would have married. I don't think I would have had children.
Okay. Now, I'll push on this. Now this is sad. One of my dear exes, one of my first exes that I've ever had like anything with in high school from like 9th grade, he passed away. Very sad, immediate. It was fucked up. I was in college my freshman year and I had a boyfriend. And he texted me and like, I love Nicki Minaj. And he texted me saying Nicki Minaj was on American Idol. And I still have the text message. And I wanted to share it. And my ex-boyfriend at the time was like, no, like, don't do this or whatever. But I was so hurt and I still think of him, but it saddens me of the situation. So that's why myself, I was still questioning like, but I would still never, like, I have a picture from my birthday party. Again, I was in 9th grade. That shit's old now. Would I post that now? I would not. Do I pay homage and comment and be like, yeah, show them love and stuff like that? Yes. But I don't think that would be appropriate because if my boyfriend now had an ex who passed away, it still would make me feel weird. So I think I have experienced that now that I'm asking you guys, but it was just interesting because I still would not because it's like that fine line. Okay. Jack, how you feel about this? You're a young man.
Yeah, no.
And like I said earlier, it's
all right. Either way, I think if you're in Will's perspective, like it all depends on how that relationship ended between the two of them. If her and Tupac were still friends and it was all good when he had passed, I don't really see a problem with it. I really don't. I mean, she could have been digging through stuff because his birthday was coming up and found this and then decided to post it now. We don't know the context of where this poem came from or if she had completely forgotten about it or anything like that. But I do have a problem with someone like how Danielle brought up Ariana Grande because Mac and her had ended on bad terms. And she went and started talking about him after the fact that he had passed and it was boosting her album.
People do that. Like King Von, the rapper. Shady. His girlfriend was doing that Asian doll heavily. If you guys like listen to rap, I think we all know about King Von for the most part. And it's like you guys weren't cool. He damn near got somebody else pregnant. Like a lot of people still do it for like clout grieving when you're famous almost. It's weird.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I mean the person has moved on. They have no connection to it. It's really for that person who was there in the moment posting it. And if that relationship was strong, if they feel some type of way still, I see no problem with it. But if it ended on bad terms, don't be doing that. There's no reason to be doing that and bringing up, bad memories you had of that person in the past.
So let's be real. Okay. Livy, we're going to get to you. How do you feel about this?
Honestly, like if you've discussed it with your partner, like if Will and Jada discussed it, then I agree with it. But I think honestly, in general, me personally, it's just like there's no need for it other than, I mean, I guess it could be therapeutic in a sense, but at the same time, I mean, because he has passed away, so it's like it's a fine line, like you said. It's like hard to really determine because he's not on this earth anymore, and you do want to pay homage, but I guess it would be appropriate, like I said, if they discussed it prior.
Would you be comfortable with your partner posting homage to their deceased ex?
If we discussed it, if we talked about it.
Now, would it be they could say to you that you'd be like, I don't think we should do this, or it would just be I'm upset, or it would have to be a reason?
I support it no matter what because that person meant something to you at one point and they're not on this earth anymore.
Would it matter if they were exes or if they were, now what if they were together and like all of a sudden they passed away?
I don't think it matters.
I know that's extreme. Okay. I would feel a type of way if they passed away and they didn't want to get like, I feel like widowers.
Yeah. What I mean
I don't know if I would.
Sorry. What I mean by discuss it with me is just like open up to me and talk to me about it. Like, we're a couple now. I want to know your struggles. Like, I want to be there for you type of thing.
Got it. If that would come up and still bother you. Like my ex from high school, that doesn't bother me on a daily basis for me to like bring up. So like I get if it would be like something to even come up in the past. It's been 80 other people that's fucked me over since that. So it's like, all right, I got more to tell you than that, honestly. But okay, all right. So it's just a little spicy. That's just a little spicy, just a little tinge. Now we're gonna go ahead and get into a little bit more. Friends who do like to touch on each other. Friends with benefits. Can friends with benefits be more than just let's talk about sex, baby? Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things sex can bring. Let's talk about sex. All right. Now, can friends with benefits become more? I'm going to tell you this. One of my favorite sex therapists online, Shan Boudram, Shan Booty. Her and her partner, Jared, are in an open relationship. I'll add that in at the end, which is fine. They started as friends with benefits, and it became more. And she said the reason why, I've never experienced this, but this is her experience. The reason why it works is because they had no expectations out of each other. They just came as they are. Because with our friends, we can love them as who they are. When you're in a relationship where you're courting someone, let's be honest, you're not as perfect as it may seem. So, let's go ahead and we'll double back down with you, Livy Rose. Start us off.
Can friends with benefits be more than just sex? I think for me, I haven't had that yet. I've just had friends with benefits, and it's like not been more than that. So I feel like it can be, but for me, it hasn't yet. So I don't know.
So you'd be open to it. You're not like, no, it can't.
Open to it. Like if we're vibing and we develop that and like we kind of make it apparent that like, hey, we want to develop this relationship, then like, yeah, I'd be down for that. But like, I haven't had that yet.
So do we not start as friends with benefits? Like, I mean, like when you start to like, I mean, okay, let's be real here. No, people start to like hang out every day and have sex and not say their boyfriend and girlfriend or partner and partner or whom and whom. So is it not like technically we are doing that?
I mean, I guess so, because like you're starting off as like just getting to know each other and like in the friendship level, and like that can turn into more. Like no matter who you're meeting, like it's never just like, as far as I know, I don't know, past my experience, but as far as I know, it's just like, hey, getting to know you, blah 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 phase. And then you're kind of like friends for a period of time while you're getting to know the person, and then you become more.
Hey.
So,
all right.
I mean,
so you're open to it. Livy Rose is open. Hit her up on TikTok if you wanted friends with benefits. She's open. She here for it. If someone said they want to pick me up in their Hellcat and bring me to the hood and show me off to the gang. Now, let me say, young man.
If I'ma spend, I gotta pay for some friends. Let me pay for some friends. If I'ma spend, shot at brains, your friend.
Is genuinely a young man. I think he's like 13. He's in school. Boy, if you don't get out here, this grown folks conversation. Somebody go get him before I get my bell. You go sit your butt down. What is going on over here? This is too much. All right. That's very funny. Okay, let me go ahead and figure out how to take this down. Okay, Nicole Faspiana. Can friends with benefits be more than just sex?
When it comes to, I'm actually, this is a very interesting question for somebody like me. I'm a demisexual, so for me, sex without that emotional connection ain't happening. So for other people outside of me, if they want to do that,
I don't know what demisexual or bisexuals you got going on. The bis, the he's, the ones, the twos, the demigods. What is this? What is demisexual to those
I know what it is.
Are uneducated?
Okay. Oh, no. Okay. All right. So demisexual, for those that aren't familiar with it, it's on the asexual spectrum. And basically for somebody like me, I need to know who you are personally and have that personal connection for you in order for the possibility of those feelings to come about. Like there's not even a guarantee. So for me being in a type of relationship where it's friends with benefits ain't gonna happen. Like either I like you enough where I'm gonna start to fall in love with you, or I just, you may as well be like a tree. So again,
how do you tell the difference though? How do you tell the difference? Like, what are the differences of, like, I guess, the other people in yourself? Because I'm like, don't majority of people want to have feelings? I mean, I know people have sex without feelings, but I'm like, isn't that, like, shouldn't it be that way?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say it should, because like I said, everybody's different. So I'm not trying to tell other people how they should or shouldn't, deal with their sexuality.
I know that, but I'm saying,
like, okay. Well, I mean, yes, it would be nice that you meet somebody and you have that connection and then you're just close and you feel like it's going to be forever. This is a deep and meaningful connection forever. However, for some people, sex is just sex and it's okay for them, which is why I don't knock the whole friends with benefit concept for other people. But for me, like, no, we have to be in a committed monogamous relationship. So that's just me. That's my boundary. That's my barrier. But for other people, go have fun. Please.
I have another question. Go. I have another question for you. Is it more difficult to date being a demisexual? And do you share this with other people that I am demisexual, or do you just know this about yourself and how you maneuver?
For me, I would say it can be a little tricky because we live in such a sexual society where people like to hook up like on the first date, like one night stands, and that's fine for them. But for me, like, no, I do restrain myself from dating, and honestly, I like have to get to know you a little bit better, and then I'll tell you about, who I am, because that's just how I like to do things. But if they ask me, of course I'll tell them.
Okay. That's fair. I like that. I think that's very, like, endearing. I want to, like, be like, that's right. I know we're not supposed to tell people. That's what we learn in school. We're not supposed to tell in acting school. I'm sorry. Different school. We learn school of feelings. You're not supposed to tell people how to feel, how to act. It's okay to cry. We good. That type of stuff. But I still think, yeah, we got to clean it up and shape it up a little bit. And there ain't nothing wrong with taking up on some demisexual. Well, hell, me too. I might have to adapt those things as well. Okay. Jack, how you feel about this?
Listen, this doesn't work. It never works. I'm telling you, the amount of times that people start hooking up and want to just be friends with benefits, if you're not progressing towards a relationship, it will never work out. At least from the guy's perspective, every single time, the girl always brings up and hits that roadblock of, well, what are we? It always happens. I'm sorry, but from my experience, that is always
So
present.
Do you know prior whether she gonna stay at friends with benefits, or do you be like, I don't know with this girl, it might be more?
Listen,
can you tell friends with benefits? Can you spot one when you catch her? You be like, okay, she gonna be at full WB, because she might something.
I can't spot it. I can't necessarily spot it, but to me, it's being upfront and saying that from the start, if that's my mindset with it. And I feel like that's always a big start, and you're always kind of in the right by doing that. But along the way, something happens where all of a sudden there's a flip switch and it needs to be more. And to me, I just don't necessarily want that every time. And it ends up in a lot of heartbreak between both sides most of the time. So I just don't ever really see it working unless it's progressing towards some type of relationship.
But so you're saying it can't progress into more?
Yeah, it definitely can progress into an actual relationship.
Has this ever happened to you personally?
Yeah, sure.
Tell us the story.
I don't know. I don't have anything in particular. It's just more so that I would say over the course of college.
Or how did it go? How did it go?
Yeah, it's, you start out talking with someone, you're hitting them up, seeing what they're up to late at night, and maybe you're hanging out, hooking up, who knows? And there can be those friendly moments. But to me, if I'm not feeling it with that person relationship-wise, I'm letting them know straight up, like, hey, listen, this is cool. I like this. I don't think it can be anything more. And they're cool with that usually to start out. But eventually,
as women's nature,
you'll get hit with that question. It's that late night question of when you're lying there posted up watching some Netflix, and all of a sudden you get hit with so like, what is this? Like, my parents are in town. You want to go out to dinner? Like, all that stuff. And
that's too much.
That's what I'm saying. But
if I'ma spend, I gotta pay for some friends. Let me pay for some friends. If I'ma spend, shot at brains, your friend.
Oh no, that's messy. Ooh.
That's just, hey, You know,
okay.
not on
so
my end.
That's like I feel like a little ixnated at Danielle. She's at the end of her season. I know she can't even control herself. Go ahead.
I'm glad that I got to go after Jack for this one after he talked. To be completely honest, so. To start off, I have been like dreading this question. I kind of knew that this was coming. I am a very messy person. I'm going to be upfront with the Nightcap crew. I have a tendency now, like actually it happened when I was in college too, but like I tend to like hook up with my friends and like I'm just a very like casual person for the most part. So I think sometimes girls get a bad like rap when it comes to this. Granted, like I do know girls that are crazy like that Jack described, where you can be like hanging out, hooking up, whatever, and then they're like, okay, like, are you my boyfriend? But I've had the reverse happen to me where like I'm hooking up with a guy and then all of a sudden like he's acting like it's something more, or his friends are like, oh, this is something more. And I'm like, I'm just like hanging out. Like I'm not trying to do anything. Like I'm not trying to date you. And I do think it's tough though, because I get in these little entanglements with people that like I see very regularly. And I know Jack.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
He knows all about
expand.
It'll be like people that are in like my circle that like I hang out with like regularly. So like I Jack's laughing because he knows all about this. We had a recent situation that got so fucking messy that it was like so unnecessary, and it just like it gets a little weird sometimes. And like I do think there's just like it's twofold. Like yes, I agree, a lot of the times it's the girl being like, what are we, but it's also kind of on the guy, because sometimes the guy will assume the girl wants something more. And like that's happened to me before, where a guy's like, oh, like just so you know, like I feel like you're looking for something. I'm not. And I'm like, bitch, who said I was? Like, it, not me. It did not come out of my mouth. So I think that's something where, and honestly, it has to do with like the age and the maturity of the person, because I think you need to have that conversation. And if someone's like, oh, I'm not looking for anything serious, like I know you are, like, I don't know. When that was said to me, like, it feels like a very accusatory tone. Like, that's not what we're looking for. Like, no, I would never date you. I would never date you. So that's my scenario. I do think at the end of the day, if you're hooking up with someone, you guys really vibe, I think it can turn into a relationship. But I do think at the end of the day, like a conversation in a non-accusatory manner, big thing, underline, bold, highlight, italicize, whatever, non-accusatory manner.
So do you have this conversation? You're very upfront. So I feel like you would say this before the guy, I'm assuming. Or do you let them wait for them to say it? Or do you wait till you're just dyingly can't take it anymore where you want to know what we are? Or how does that work?
I don't ask.
Okay.
I don't ask because I don't ever feel like I don't ever want to feel like I will never be a pick me girl. That's the thought I'm trying to get to. I'm not going to be the girl that's like begging the guy to pick her. I don't give a fuck. I probably don't like you that much.
Okay,
like,
so you'll just let it ride. You'll just let it ride.
Yeah, and I am the one that calls.
So you filter them out, though. Do you filter out the people like, okay, this is going to be FWB. This could be a little bit more like what I asked Jack?
Sometimes it takes me a couple times to filter it out, and some mistakes get made.
Okay, but you attempt to. Can you see them differently?
Are like my past?
Yeah, go ahead.
My past couple options, absolutely not. Firm no. Firm no.
Okay. Firm
no.
Okay, all right, we'll leave it at that.
Thank
Tam,
you.
how you feel about this?
All right. So I've been listening to everybody. I would have to say, like, let's talk about it, because I feel like with this type of situation, communication at the end of the day is going to be key. You know, you have to have good communication. You both have to be open. And with any relationship, I feel like a friendship has to start. A friendship in any relationship is the foundation to going further, to going there. You have to be super in tune with that person. Y'all both have to be like, hey, this is what it is. We're going to talk about it. This is just a friends benefit situation. It's just, you have those people that, yeah, it's just sex for them. No, emotionally, it's just whenever I'm in the mood, I get horny. I could call who such and such. Let's get together. Then we're gonna go our separate ways. But then also, you both have to talk about, you know, what y'all both feeling and be truthful with each other, because sometimes I feel like a lot of people hide what they feel and their emotions and not telling that person. So it's like you feel this type of emotion, they don't know that you're feeling this, and then y'all get in a discourse, and then it can mess up the whole vibe. So then at the end of the day, y'all friendship could be messed up because y'all wasn't even talking about it. So I feel like, yes, friends with benefits can be more, but y'all both have to be in tune. Y'all both have to tell each other what y'all want. Y'all both have to tell each other how y'all feel. I feel like it's important to have check-ins with the person that you're friends with benefits. You have to have a check-in, because if y'all don't, y'all gonna be messed up. So check in with each other. Let's talk about it. I'm feeling this type of way. Are you still feeling like it's just sex? Or are you feeling like I feel this feelings for you and I can't explain it? Things like that. Because I'm a very person that's in tune with their emotions. It's kind of hard for me to just have a friends with benefits situation, especially if we talk every day or we do this. I'm gonna get an emotional attachment to you, and now I'm just like, I don't know if it's just sex with you now. Say, I'm just the type of person, I just cannot have sex without having this emotional in tune with you. So it's just, I feel like daily check-ins is a must for each other, and I feel like it can grow, but y'all both have to be open to communicating. And if that's that's not what the other person wants, put it off there. Don't keep having sex with that person, because that's that's leading them on. So if that's it, let it go. It can work, it cannot. I just feel like communication at the end of the day is key.
I feel like an asshole now.
Communication, honestly, is the key to any level of a relationship. Like, whether you're friends with benefits, whether you're in a relationship, it's good to communicate.
I'm sorry, I'm having technical difficulties for a second. All right, y'all. So that is the question. The next question, we're going to go ahead and pop it off. Livy Rose, take us away with this. The do's and don'ts of being in a friends with benefits relationship. Now, give me 2 do's and 2 don'ts, and go ahead and popcorn it over to somebody else.
Oh, God. Don't bring drama into it. And don't keep secrets. Do communicate, and do have fun. Those are my 4.
All right. Sam?
Oh, I mean, I agree with her. Like, I feel like, do be honest, be open, do enjoy it, have fun with it. Again, like she said, like, don't be messy, and don't play with each other's feelings. Like, I just feel like that's important. So those are my 4.
Okay, Danielle.
I had to write mine down really fast so I didn't forget them. Okay, so I think my first do, like, it's kind of like a tandem, but like, be cool about it. Like, don't treat it like it's this like weird situation if you're in a group where like y'all always hang out and then like you guys start hooking up. Like, don't treat it like it's this like weird thing and like start acting like a weirdo about it, because I think that makes it worse. And then just like do kind of like understand that it might not be an every time you see them type thing. Like, keep it like the casual side. My 2 biggest don'ts, and my last one's my best one. So first one, don't make assumptions about what the other person feels or how they feel like what's going on. And my biggest don't, because I've had this happen and it's fucking annoying, do not bring other people that you are talking to around the person you're hooking up with. Do not fucking do that. That makes it weird as fuck for everyone. Do not do it. That's like my life moral for this year. Don't bring a different person around the person you're fucking. Don't
That's
do it.
messy. That's too much. That's too much. That can be a
we know. We know.
Okay,
We know.
all right. We know. Nicole Thespiana, I know you say you may not, this is not your cup of tea per se, but what would you say to the people about this?
Okay. Well, as somebody who's never had this experience, what I would say is that a huge don't is to don't be roommates and friends with benefits. Like, don't be roommates and friends with benefits. That's like a huge don't. I don't see that working out positively.
That's messy.
And then, Yes. And then what I would say do be respectful. Respect that person's boundaries. Respect what that person requires from you, i.e. safe sex. I'm going to keep pushing that forever. And then I would also say do have an understanding of what would happen if, and this is speaking from like a heteronormative standpoint, but if she gets pregnant, like what's the understanding of what happens? Because you could be safe all you want, but slip-ups happen. So there needs to be an understanding of what will happen. And again, this is within the context of
slip-ups happen. Sex. Don't let it happen with your friend with benefits. You know how hoes be out here. These 21st century Gen Z hoes are crazy. And the men ain't taking care of the babies either. They saying, if I tell you don't have it, I'm sorry. They saying, I ain't paying nothing. So don't you start doing that either. This messy. Okay. So that was just a little tip. Anybody else got anything else they want to say to the people on the do's and don'ts before I go ahead and get to our next topic?
I'll just do a quick don't start getting jealous. You know, if you are
it's inevitable. The ladies are always going to get jealous.
Well, even from the guy's side, if you start seeing text messages pop up, don't worry about it. It's not your problem. You knew what you were getting into.
When I was in college, I worried about it halfway. I didn't worry about it fully, but I started minding my business, and then he wanted to mind mine. So it kind of depends, though. If you're not in a relationship, that's easier to say though. Not in a relationship. Most people be getting down and don't be in relationships.
If you haven't had that conversation, I guess I should say.
Go ahead.
No, go.
I was gonna say my thing with the text, like it's definitely, I don't know. I think it is partially a girl thing, like. It also might be because I have like really shitty taste in men. So like anytime like I'm like talking to a guy, like I know most of the time like he is talking to someone else. So even if the guy's like a good guy and he's not, like I'm gonna be triggered and be like, oh, if like I don't know, like that's your cousin, like I'm gonna be like, oh, like he's probably fucking this girl.
I better not see. But for me, listen, I better not see or just hear it. And then I'm smooth. Like, let me be a fool. Bamboozle me. Because you're going to be bamboozled if I'm doing something. You're not going to know none of my business. I'm not going to have nobody being messy in your face. I'm not going to have nobody around you. So that's all that I hope for my partners. But I think people who are mature like that, who do partake in friends with benefits and don't have it up in other people's faces or aren't bringing the people they're having sex with or sleeping with around others, then that's in circumstances when this can work. I think motherfuckers in high school, very young in college, this is not, this is really grown folks' business if you really are going to do this and not commit, but try to commit, and have sex. Because it's still like nobody really wants to have sex with somebody who's having sex with a lot of people. I mean, that's just me. A lot. It's like, or even like know of that. That is what makes me feel uncomfortable. I think inevitably I know that the people who I were messing with were obviously messing with other people because you find out. But inevitably, like, I just didn't want it in my face. So, I don't know. I think it's a thin line. I think it works. I think a lot of time in college it is friends with benefits. I think I had a friend with benefits for a long time. But I still think it's like, I don't know. It was still a respect factor to keep it going. It's like, if you're going to keep having sex with me or we're going to keep getting freaky or doing whatever, then you're not going to, like, be dogging and embarrassing me like this. But I don't know. That's how I am.
That's the biggest thing is like, I don't want to be embarrassed. Like it happened to me like enough times in college when you like find out about them hooking up with your friends.
It's messy in college. Yeah, college is different. That's a different breed.
Well, this has happened to me like in adult life. Like just like being like outright like, oh, so-and-so like is hooking up with this person too. And I'm like, wait, what? Like that, I don't know. Like I don't like being embarrassed in front of other people. That's my biggest thing. So you gotta fuck girl finesse the fuck boy before the fuck boy finesses you.
Ooh, the fuck boy finesses you.
If I'ma spend, I gotta pay for some friends. Let me pay for some friends. If I'ma spend, shot at brains, your friend.
So we're gonna go ahead on the topic of friends and continue to get into it. We had a couple comments. We're going to go ahead and read these aloud. Again, if you're here, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. Make sure you are thumbsing up. Make sure you guys are subscribing and supporting everyone's beautiful channels. People have podcasts. Everyone has a platform, and everyone is very successful. Livy Rose has a TikTok, so don't forget that. She's never going to live down that joke. I'm sorry. Out of all things, Livy Rose TikTok is going to be my joke, so she's going to get some people on there. I had somebody pop up on my TikTok. I was like, oh, shit. All right. Candace, shout out to Candace. I know Miss Candace. Jealousy is crossing the line. You got to check yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. A lot of checking before college, in college, after, still the same. That's real, pretty boy. To say you want to be in the FWB all along is an actual relationship. Typos like crazy. Thank you, Miss Candace. All right, y'all. So we're going to go ahead and get into my next topic. Do you personally partake in FWB? Why or why not? We're going to start with, I'm going to give the people a second. Nicole Thespiana. Can somebody, I'm gonna change this a little bit for you. Can somebody who's demisexual partake in a friends with benefit relationship? Is that possible?
I would say it is rare, but it's possible. It's rare, but it is possible because there are people out there who can have emotional connection with more than one person, and it can still be special in its own unique way. Kind of like polyamory.
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 You know what? I think I would never partake in that, but trust me, I've loved a lot of young men at the same time, very much so, very dearly. Back in my player days, it was a lot of young men that I loved very dearly, and they thought that they was the ones for real. But I think that I could like really feel that. Like, I don't know. I think that I could almost do it. I would never do it. I don't think that's my cup of tea because I'd be too jealous. But I think people have it in them. I think I could have it in me. But I would want the multiple boyfriends and all that. Don't get me wrong. Not me with other people. I'm one of those. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. Tam, how you feel about this?
Okay, so if you would have asked me this a long time ago,
you hit us with the She hit us with the no.
Like, no, because,
come on now.
Because, like, you know, I just feel like you should just be with one person. But
why are you voice cracking on this, Tam? You over here singing the falsetto. Come
on. But okay, I have, you know, been in a situation, and then, you know, with that last question, I started to, you know, have feelings for the person. So, and they also started to have.
Okay. So I was about to get on you. I was like, oh, you have feelings today too?
They do have feelings. But what was good, we communicate. You communicate. You know.
Are you speaking in present times? Oh my God! You know I'm messy. I paid attention to school, so I understand past and present tense because you corrected me, and you had corrected me subconsciously. I said, did you? We do.
I did. I just noticed that, but you know, it may be present. You know, I ain't gonna put my.
I gotta pay for some friends. Let me pay for some friends. I'ma spend shot at brains, your friend.
I have to go take off that hoodie. You might have to go ahead and put on a t-shirt. You might be getting too hot in here for you. I don't know. I love that though. But please, okay, without telling us too much, now I have to pry a little bit. But it works, right? Everyone has experiences in some capacity or majority, right?
I mean, I feel like everybody has, like, experienced it. I don't think, like, I mean, then there's some people that, you know, are not about that. Like, you have people that really like, you know, someone to, you know, see themselves like going forward. So you have those people that look at the person like, I want more than that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's something new. But I know I feel like everybody has had an experience, but there's also, again, like you know, Nicole says, it could possibly, for a person that's demisexual, it could be very hard for that because she wants, you know, they have feelings attached. But I'm a very emotional person, so like.
Me too.
I'm an emotional person, so like with me, it's hard, but you know, it's an experience, I guess.
Okay, so you can get through it. It's so many words. Okay,
yeah.
All right. Danielle, will you get through this?
Okay, I feel like I need to play that LMFAO song that says, like, I am not a whore, because that literally is what I've sounded like through all these answers. I mean, I do it, like, yeah, but I mean, it doesn't work. Like, I genuinely don't think it works. As for the why or why not of why, I think at this point, like, I just have so much going on, and like between like my job, my podcast, the Nightcap Crew, all that stuff, like I don't know what I actually want, and I don't have time for a boyfriend. Like I'm booked, I'm busy, like I have too many things to do.
So you're saying a man just couldn't understand your schedule, or he couldn't be busy as well, or have a life like you and get it, and maybe like he wouldn't be up your ass enough to have a balance, and I mean, not just have to not have that, you know.
I mean, I'm also very picky, so like if I found a guy that like had his own thing and was like doing his own stuff and understood, like sometimes like I can't hang out at all during the week because I'm recording, things like that. But at this point, I have not like found like a solid footing in that. So I just do what I have to do for now. And it doesn't work well. They're not long lasting friends with benefits, but it'll happen one day.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Still, the overwhelming factor has been that this is turned into something. It kind of starts that way in modern dating a little bit. I want to go ahead and turn it up a notch and go ahead and throw in a bonus question. Oh, this one is a little messy. In modern dating, do you still, or at one point, utilize dating apps? In modern dating, is it still a need for dating apps? I say I met my partner on a dating app. I met my partner on Bumble. Bumble's butt and it's ass, and I know that. And some people say it's ass, and that was just like at a rare occasion, and it was like I was working like 30 minutes at my job. It was a different area, whatever. So for me, it's fine, and I don't take no shame in it. I remember back in the day, you'd be like, you met somebody online. How am I motherfuckers going to meet? I feel like we don't live in a society where it's even the pressure for young men to go up to somebody because I can see you on IG or know of close somebody to you or find you somewhere else to talk to you than go up to you. And like women be like, oh my God, it's a man coming up to me or somebody else. So I'm not even going to leave this to be heteronormative. And you can use this to be shit. Libby Rose and I've been to the gay bars. So I like to go hang out. And still within those communities too, they're huge. So I want to know, in modern dating, do you still use dating apps? Is it still a need for dating apps? Jack, I see you nodding your head.
Yeah, I think that there has to be a balance. I mean, to me, I think that they're a useful tool to meeting people in terms of people you might not have met otherwise. So that's always cool and you can kind of get to know someone. But in actuality, I think post-COVID, why are we doing this? Let's go out. Let's have face-to-face conversation again. Let's work up.
Did you use them in COVID? So my boyfriend told me that his friends were like, no, you can't find anybody on dating apps in COVID because bitches don't want to go outside. And I said, I know some hoes that was desperate to go outside still in COVID. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even
was it dry?
Yeah, it still is on there. But like, to me, I think it was just a nice way to have human conversation when everyone was locked down. It was an easy way to maybe have conversation with that added note of maybe this can be something if we do meet up or one day we do meet up. But I think post-COVID, there's no need. Let's go out, let's live life again, and let's meet up at a random spot. You know, I don't think that we need to do the whole online internet thing to get it rolling.
But now do you believe in you saying this enough to delete all the apps and say I'm gonna go meet some hoes outside?
100%. I would delete them all.
You have no deleted there on your phone currently? Some of them.
I have one, but
what is your app of choice? Tinder's too. No. We don't use Tinder.
No
What do you use,
Tinder.
Yeah,
just
Hinge.
Hinge? Are you mature? You use Hinge?
Yeah, just because it's low commitment. You get a few likes a day, you get it done in the morning, and you're chill.
Yeah, see, for me, when I was still a hot girl, Hinge was too slow for me. And, it was just a little. It was like some nice people in there, but I think my dating app of choice was probably. It was one that I'm missing. I can't remember. I don't know why I think I'm missing one. Tinder used to be popping back in the day, I will say. Tinder was always where you could find a pool of people if you're really trying to get down. I did
Tinder to fuck though now. People don't.
Okay, Livy Rose, go ahead. Tell me. You still use dating apps? I'm not gonna put you on Front Street, friend, because I know you, but
girl, you know that I'd be on the dating app.
Everybody with these typos tonight. Everybody loose. They getting loose off the drink. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up. Go ahead.
These typos, motherfucker. They are. They really are. Do you use dating apps? Yes.
Oh, look at her laughing. Go ahead.
It's
Dive in. Dive in. Do you use anything for like to find like any dating apps, especially for like women or anything like that?
I'm dabbling in Tammy. And it's like a LGBT.
Whoa! Hi, said my old Tinder date.
It's TAIMI, and it's like LGBTQ oriented, and it's not bad. It's okay. I'm usually on like Bumble, because like if you swipe on somebody, you can message them first. So,
see how much he cares. He's not even watching my live stream to see this. He over here gaming. I'm like, you. Okay, I'm sorry, Olivia.
I don't know if they necessarily work yet because I haven't really like met anybody and it's like really stuck. But I hear it works. I hope it works.
So no hits yet. So overall, what apps do you have on your phone?
Like, oh God, what do I got? I got Bumble. Ooh. I got Hinge.
Ooh.
I got.
She got the Dirty Dozen.
I got Plenty of Fish.
Ooh, you dirty and cheap.
I got Badoo.
Ooh, you a hooker. Oh my God, let me rock. What the hell is Badoo? Oh my God.
If I'ma spend, I gotta pay for some friends. Let me pay for some friends. If I'ma spend, shot of brains, your friend.
Has anybody heard of Badoo? Oh, she about to do one of those TikToks where they do staring at the blank page before you get moving up to dirty. Yeah, come on, Olivia. I'm sorry, that was so funny. That was wrong. I'm sorry, but I know you.
Anybody in the audience knows me.
I'm sorry, we're kin, so I had to bag on you a tiny bit more than everyone else. Okay, all right. Okay, Danielle. I'm crying, Lord Jesus. Okay. Do you still utilize dating apps?
I'm still laughing about Badoo because that doesn't even sound like a real fucking word.
I'm like, Erica Badu, bitch. Badu.
Like, yeah.
How do you spell that?
I don't know. But, so I do still have them on my phone. I have Hinge and Bumble. But like everyone said, like they're shit. Like I think I've gone on like 4 dates on Bumble.
Ooh,
3 of them.
Badoo. Badoo.
3 of them were horrible, and one of them was my friend that like I knew wanted to hook up with me, so I swiped right on him, and yeah, that was the end of that story. I won't get into it, but they're not. I mean, they're not good. I just honestly, I think someone in the comments
we're missing out on Badoo. This looks like I'm sorry. This looks expensive. 5 million people, 500 million people are on there.
I just looked up dating apps in the App Store.
I love this. I'm sorry. I'm just intrigued. Let me get off of here before I get in trouble.
I think it was Candace that said, and I totally agree with her, that sometimes I just like have the dating apps to see who swiped right on me. Like,
for a confidence boost.
Yeah, I'm the worst with it though.
Oh, at least you're honest.
No, I'm the worst with it though because if I see my friends on the apps, like I swipe right on my friends to see if they would swipe right on me.
What friends? Like your guy friends? Your guy friends?
Yes. My guy friends, yeah. And then I will unmatch
We didn't get to that question yet. Your guy
Are you
friends?
giving me air quotes to my guy friends right now?
I'm just saying, no, women and their guy friends. I challenge if that really can exist in general. But we'll get to that later.
I thought that was directed at me because
no, not just to you. Not just okay. So you want them to swipe right, but then you will never take it any further. Has anyone ever swiped right that you might be like, oh, but I'm kind of with it. I'm down.
Yeah, no, that happened with my friend that I swiped right on.
Exactly. That's why I gave you the guy friends. That's what I'm saying. They still down to get freaky.
But if it's a guy that like I'm friends with, and I'm not like sexually interested in, I'll still swipe right to see if he swiped right on me, and then I'll unmatch really fast so he'll never know that I like swiped right on him. Like I'll unmatch so he won't see it. I know that that's a little crazy, but it's just I'm curious. Okay,
keeping it a little.
I'm curious.
Tesmiana.
Okay. Well, first, I just want to say that Danielle, no, that's not crazy at all. I completely understand where you're coming from. And then, in regards to the use of dating apps, I do feel that there is a place for it because when on the dating app, you know that you're there for a specific thing. And then for me, yes, once upon a time, I was briefly on there. I was kind of peer pressured into being on it, and it was Tinder. And yeah, it was a nice confident boost to like get people to swipe on me, even though I wasn't really into them. And I did go on at least one date with somebody, and it was nice, but I really just saw them like as a friend. Like they didn't bring that out of me. But of course, it was only like one date and then like a couple of weeks of interactions. So that was my experience with dating apps.
All right. And shout out to Cookie LaBatt. We love Cookie LaBatt here. Who is we you speak of? Who they talking to? All right, y'all. So the next question of the evening is alluding to what I just said not too long ago. Can a woman and man in a hetero community be just friends? So it's the concept of can men and women just be friends? I've never had any just guy friends. Like, they would probably have to seriously identify as homosexual, honestly, to just say they were just my friend or not try to get down with me. I feel like some guys would not try, but like if I came at them like, yo, let's get down, then they'd be like going. So that was always the concept. I never kept a lot of guy friends that I wasn't getting down with. We was just always cool, and maybe it was that deal. But that's just me back in my day, before when I was okay. Anyway, let's start with you, Jack.
I 100% think that a guy and a girl can just be friends. I will say that there is a caveat to that, though. And
if they're attractive?
No, if you do have a guy friend, the thought has ran through his mind of potentially what it would be like to hook up. But that does not mean that they ever want to act upon that. I have plenty of girlfriends that I absolutely love to death and would do anything for them, sometimes even more so than
But
some
what
of my
makes
own guys.
you be like, this is my girlfriend, I wouldn't want to take this further? Because I know it may be a couple girlfriends maybe that be like, hey.
Yeah, I mean, more so you want to honor and kind of respect that friendship because sometimes it's worth it to not lose out on that friendship, and you know how much that person actually means to you that you wouldn't want to.
I feel like that's the safe answer, but people get feelings. Come on, you tell me across the board, no one's ever tried you, you've never tried nobody. This is too cookie cutter for me.
I'm just saying, like
nobody.
I think nobody like ever, okay. Maybe not, but for the most part, I do have like a good handful of girlfriends that I would never date. And love them to death, but on a friendship level. Okay.
And do you ever have these conversations like that you don't want this to go any further? Did you ever think of them that way and it could change? Or you just start like just a normal friendship?
It depends because I also have sometimes friends that maybe have hooked up or dated other people within my own friend group. And I don't want to bring all that into it either. Like that's way too much to deal with. Okay. Sometimes it's just better off to leave it as just friends and keep it rolling with that. And you get a good friend out of it. Like, I have no complaints.
Okay. All right. So Jack says men and women can just be friends, or two partners can just be friends. All right. Tam, how you feel about this?
I definitely agree with Jack. I feel like men and women can definitely just be friends. I learned from an example with my mom and my godfather. They've been best friends for a long time. They never had like a sexual relationship, no flirting, like, you know, and like my mom has a lot of male best friends that she had nothing sexual with. So I've seen that happen. I believe that it can happen. You know, I feel like people have a stigma that, you know, just being friends with the opposite sex, you're going to want something from them sexually or anything like that. And for me, a lot of my friends are guys, and maybe that's because I was a little tomboy, and you know, but and now I'm a lesbian, so I have a lot of male friends, and I don't have an attraction to them. I know some have had attraction to me, but they know not to go there, and yet we still are friends. Because I feel like as it comes down to it, that communication, that barrier, just like, say what's up. But I feel like you guys, they can be friends, because I feel like you gotta have an opposite like sex of friends just to give you an insight on certain situations. Like I could talk to my guy friends about something that my girlfriends may not understand. I can get a more male perspective to it. And then you have some females that like guy friends, just because they have that sense of protection with each other, just a protection from having male friends around. So I believe that you can just be friends.
That is so funny. Tam, we're not laughing at you. This is so funny. Okay. I have a backup question for you, Tam. Now, will these things change in a relationship? Do we ever need to adjust when we're in a relationship?
I feel like I don't know. I feel like if you are open enough with your partner to be like, I do have, male friends, maybe not hang out with them as much as like I do on a regular basis. But I feel like if your partner is comfortable within your relationship with the status that he holds, then I don't see like why they should have a problem. They could hang out together too. But I do feel like you do have to sometimes conform when you're in a relationship, because you have that other person now, that you want to be with and hang with. So I do sometimes think you do conform, but I feel like, y'all can still be open and honest. Like, I have these guy friends or I have these male friends, as long as it's that friend barrier and it's nothing more, nothing less.
All right, Danielle. Can a woman and man just be friends? I know you and Jack are woman and man and friends. And you guys are nodding and being friends.
Yeah, so, me and Jack are homies. Okay. End of the day, that's it.
But
me and Jack, homies.
Okay, but I say this. I give caveats because I think about this. And like working relationships, school, I think things like that, common interests, I think you can find friends in those things. But I think like friend groups, I still think it's like a line of like people who still mess around. Can you like differentiate what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I have a lot of thoughts about this. But yes, Jack and I have like a working relationship. Like we're homies, like nothing. Like I said earlier when we were in our prep, like I feel like Jack's like my little brother at this point, like whatever. But so I have a lot of thoughts on this. Two of my best friends in the entire world are guys. I love them to death. Like they are like my ride or dies. And like, that's it. I think where it gets tricky, like I'm a girl that has a lot of guy friends. And I have had, actually recently this happened, and I'm glad I have somewhere to share this because I couldn't put it on my show. A guy that I had been friends with for like 10 years, literally like nothing, very like we were friends. But his girlfriend, who I was friends with, straight up told him that he was no longer allowed to be friends with me because of like my like type of man that like I like, even though like my friend is not that person. So I think it gets tricky, especially I think when you're a girl with guy friends, if the guy gets a girlfriend. Like I've had countless ones of like my guy best friends, girlfriends not like me, but like joke's on you, I'm still here. And I just think sometimes girls like can't understand that. But I get it from the girl side, because like if your guy's best friend is a girl and like it's not someone that like your boyfriend would find like physically disgusting, like it would be tough. So I don't know. I think
so. Do the dynamics can change though? Like you think?
I mean, I think it's tough. And like once you get into that space where like your guy best friend has a girlfriend that like isn't comfortable with your friendship, it gets to the point where like the guy does have to end up choosing. And like I said with my example, like sometimes like you get friend dumped and like whatever, but then other times like your friendship is like long lasting through it. It's very interesting. And I do think, I'm just saying this from my personal perspective, some girls do get like a little nuts about it. And I do think it's possible. My best friend, I've been best friends with him for 10 years. the thought has never even crossed our minds to hook up. Like, I saw a TikTok the other day that I sent to him, and it was like, what's it like having a girl best friend? And it was literally the guy being like, you're ugly and you're disgusting, but I love you. And that's literally me and my best friend. 100%. So it's possible, but like, I just think some people don't understand it. And like, maybe it's just because if the roles were reversed and they had a guy best friend, like they might not be able to like withhold themselves. But end of the day, I think it's possible, but sometimes bitches are crazy. And that's the end of my TED Talk for today.
Thank you for the TED Talk. The chat, I must say, is blowing up. This is like so silly. Very, very funny. Very funny chat. Shout out to the chat right now. All right. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get on to the next question before we have to pull up to someone's hood very quickly. All right, you guys. We're almost done here. I absolutely promise. Okie dokie. The final question is, can you be friends with someone after... I lied. It's the second to last. Can you be friends with someone after a breakup? We're going to go ahead and do fast round. Danielle. Can you be friends with somebody after a breakup?
Only if you're comfortable with it being perpetually messy.
Yeah, is that a yes or a no? Expand.
Yeah, yes, if you're okay with the fact that it's probably going to be getting weird at some point.
Have you attempted to be friends with somebody?
Yeah, and it's a shit show. And then you just, it's weird in your feelings. You never get closure on the situation.
I think only in my desperate of moments, and I can be honest, I've been like, I really want to be your friend just to be near you, like with some lame shit back in the day. But you know, it's just like to be close to you type deal. But yeah, I don't think my exes don't like me. So,
yeah, I think it never gives you like a clear separation if you go from breaking up to being friends. I think that's it. And like, yeah, if you
Jack and Daniels and I was a cookie. I love that. That gotta be a podcast.
Jack, can that be our friendship name? Jack and Daniels?
Jack and Daniels. I love that.
But yeah, I mean, I think you can do it, but you need to have like a clear break, and maybe in a couple of years you can be friends. But other than that, it'll be messy. And yes, I know everything in my life is messy.
It is indeed. I can second that.
Jack, you can't put up a spot like
Danielle, that. Someone challenge you. Why is everything in your life messy?
Honestly, it's all good content for the podcast, so I fully embrace it. I know who I am, and I'm honestly like not concerned if other people don't fit into it. I don't care, and I'm very blunt about it, and that's when stuff gets messy. I'm not gonna back down for anyone.
Messy, I feel like for you, I will say, I don't think messy for you necessarily has like a negative connotation. It can just be like when something's just not going right, or like just like a shit show, like not necessarily a person or an action of being messy.
It gets funny. Like my messy things aren't like my boyfriend's getting people pregnant that aren't me. It's messy.
Ghetto messy. It's a lot of different categories of messiness. That's just ghetto messy.
It's funny.
It's funny. Messy.
It's funny, dumb shit. Are you asking, if this person is asking my sign, I'm a Leo, and I know that makes a lot of sense. I know.
Okay, she's a Leo. My mom's a Leo. I like Leos. Leos are cool people. Hey, I have, my best friend is a Leo as well. Olivia Rose. Take us away. She's an Aries.
Can you be friends with somebody after a breakup? So me personally, I haven't done that. So I would say no.
So do your exes are not fond of you?
No.
Mine either. Hey, I think it should be that way sometimes. For what reason should we be friends?
Mutual, okay.
Yeah, we don't like each other. Shit, and then I didn't mention that. That was already spoken for. Nicole, how you feel about this?
I think again, it's one of those situations where it's rare but possible. It all comes down to how you broke up, the type of person you are, and how much time has passed. That's how I feel. Rare, but not impossible.
Rare, but not impossible.
Yeah, it just depends on how you broke up and who you and the type of person you are.
In what circumstance would this be acceptable?
I want to say, like, if the breakup was mutual and the two of you are both in a place where you're mature enough to like have the friendship and be able to communicate with one another and just be chill about it. Is that a cricket? Is that a cricket emoji?
This is getting shady.
I
think it's getting shady over here.
Did you say that boring?
Hope everybody poured up a lot of drinks. The Nightcap crew was getting.
The Nightcap crew is
y'all wanted some spice tonight, so they're getting spicy back. They're challenging us. That's good.
Oh
we
yeah,
need to be challenged.
I am full of content. Don't you
worry. We're gonna start doing call-ins soon. Okay, we're gonna start doing call-ins soon, so people can hop on with you and start getting right with you. Somebody said Tam looks sleepy. Tam, wake up! Wake up! Can you be friends with somebody after a breakup? Tam, go ahead.
First of all,
it's past the stream's going past Tam bedtime, huh?
First of all, PB, you can kiss my, you know that. And you know, I do have to go to work tonight, so I'm a little drained. But
you're so sweet.
I feel like you can still be friends with the ex. I feel like there's, like Nicole said, like it has to depend on the situation if you both mature enough. So I feel like if how to break up ended, y'all can be friends or you can't. You know, it's a hit or miss.
Okay, so I think an overwhelming majority is saying this ain't gonna happen. Okay, I'm thinking this ain't gonna happen. Okay. Last but not least, for our final round, we're going to go through one more power round because we got to make it to an hour 30. Y'all know. The panel gets to propose a question to one another. So I'm going to give everyone a couple of seconds to go ahead and think of a question to propose to the panel because we're going to start holding and challenging each other and talking about different things. So, Nicole Thespiana, what are you going to propose to the panel tonight?
Can I get a little bit more time?
A little bit more time. Okay. Anybody got one ready?
Yeah,
Danielle.
I'm trying to think of a question.
Phone a friend. I'm putting y'all on the hot seat tonight.
Okay. Oh, no, Livy, if you got a question, you go.
Do you think it's okay to be friends with somebody else's significant other?
Like of the opposite sex?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people who aren't okay with it.
Okay, so people are saying, here's one from Eternal Style. What does it say? Ask the opposite. Would you let your significant other remain friends with an ex?
Oh, that's a good question.
Jack, you're shaking your head, yes?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I'm pretty confident in our relationship at that point. Like, to me, if you're going to go be with the dude you were with beforehand, then so be it. I don't need that in my life. Come on now.
Okay.
But would that compromise the relationship?
Yeah, I mean, it could in theory, depending on, it all depends on what that past relationship was like, how long it was, how serious it was. All that gets factored in. But to me, it's like, if you still want yesterday's trash, go ahead and take it.
But wouldn't that say a lot about your partner if they want yesterday's trash if you're with them?
That's what I'm saying. Why would I want to?
So would that make you feel some type of way if they wanted to remain friends with their ex?
If it's just strictly a friendship and there's, like I said, there's a lot that goes into that in terms of the past relationship. But,
okay, I got something for you. In a relationship, you got a girlfriend. You really liked her. She's like, Jack, all these hoes you're friends with, I'm not comfortable with this. I'm not with it. Would you do this?
Honestly, if they're the type of person that wouldn't be chill with the girls that I'm friends with, they're cut off. Straight up.
Do you introduce them, and have you ever had anybody have an issue with having girlfriends?
I've never had anybody have an actual issue. At least they didn't tell me they had an actual issue.
Okay.
But to me, I'm confident in the people that I'm friends with, and if I've been friends with them long enough, that also depends too. Like, if it's a long time friend and they're saying you got to cut them off, I'm gonna pick the person I've known for a longer time than random new relationship.
Okay, so you think that seems a little bit controlling and vindictive. Now,
Yeah,
do you
100%.
think that it seems odd for someone to feel uncomfortable with someone being friends? I honestly, if my boyfriend was friends with his ex, I'd be like, I ain't with that. I don't know. But I think that sometimes I'm a little bit old school, sort of things like that. But I know that he wouldn't want me to be friends with my ex as well. I think it kind of just depends how cool people are. But again, like, I think some guys have like a lot of girlfriends, and like some guys like don't. Some guys like have their bros and have like girlfriends, and some guys like don't have a lot of lady friends. So I think it kind of all depends on, kind of where you identify with that. Danielle, go ahead.
Yeah, I think one thing too, I agree with what you and Jack both just said. I would do the same thing. Like if a guy I was dating wasn't cool with my guy friends, I'd be like, all right, like not really trying to deal with this. But I feel like it would be tough for me. And I know I just said that like about the whole thing with me having guy friends with girlfriends, but I think I would be like okay with it if it was like more girl, like fringe friends, like, oh, it's like a friends in like our group. But I think if it was like a girlfriend that he was like texting all day every single day, like I might feel like kind of weird about it.
Okay, so it would be, you might feel some way. I think that's natural though, to like feel weird about it, right?
Right. I mean, and I think that they're allowed to have friends, but if it's to the point where they're like talking to them like as much or more than they're talking to me, like I feel like that just kind of like crosses the line a little bit. If it's like not like someone they're friends with from work or something, and it's just like someone that they're literally texting all day, every single day about everything, like then I would be kind of like, all right, like this is a little weird for me. But I think you can like have
everyone's saying it sounds like that people are saying that we say they don't have friends. I'll commit to that. No, I'll commit to that. No, I don't feel comfortable with all that because things get misconstrued. People get confused. So I'm not going to be naive and sit here. You can have friends, but I don't think why it can't be encouraged to, at a certain point. We're going to start growing up, and this is a mid-20s podcast. You're not going to be running around with women and men. We're going to start having families and shit. So opposite genders of people like that are going to trickle off. But I know people in my life, like it's just not appropriate when you're getting married to have guy friends. For example, I know people who I'm very close to who, when they got married, they had guy friends who loved them very dearly. But like, this is not like what we do. I think it can maybe be a cultural difference as well. I just don't get down like that. I don't think that's appropriate, and that is not what I subscribe to. And I don't think that's vindictive. I just don't think and as well as my partner, I think it just kind of depends on the partner and the people. But my guy didn't come here like I have a lot of girlfriends. That's not what he came here with. So I think it kind of depends. And I never have dated people who were like that really before. I've always dated like very bro-ish type of guys. So I think it very much so just kind of depends where you subscribe. So that's me on that topic for that comment. Go ahead. Open topic.
I feel like too, it kind of depends. I actually talked to one of my old coworkers about this, that it's different. Like if you have just like a girl that you're friends with, but if you're dating them or whatever, like I wouldn't be comfortable with like my boyfriend just being like, oh, like I'm going to go out to dinner with Kelly, like just us at like XYZ place. Like I'm going to be gone for a couple hours. Like that's weird. Like I feel like that's weird and unnecessary. I'd be like, oh, like why aren't me and Kelly's boyfriend going? Like you can like hang out in a group setting. But I do agree with you. Like once you're older, it's not just like this random like one-on-one time with like your opposite sex friends. It's like a group outing, because then your boyfriend's going to be like, oh, why do you need to go out to dinner by yourself with Kevin? Like it's kind of weird. That's all for me.
Anybody else feel like people are saying that y'all don't have, that you are vindictive and can't have friends?
No, I was just going to say I agree with what Danielle was saying in terms of like making it more of like a group setting type thing. Like I want my significant other, if I'm going to maintain that friendship, to also maybe potentially be friends with them or be able to go out on double dates with their significant other as well. After a certain point, you got to put your person that you are dating above that friendship, and it needs to take precedent. You shouldn't be texting someone of the opposite sex all day, every day.
Okay, so it's still with caveats though. So I'm saying when it gets to the point when we're starting to get, or whenever people start to subscribe to really serious or really like relationships, be like, oh, I love you so much, then those things are still going to be a little bit weird, because what is going to be the room for it? Like, I mean, unless it is in a group setting, you have a group of friends and it's going to be an extended friend, is not even considered somebody you would text. Like, I don't know where that friend would fit in, because you don't do that shit with your girl. You don't go get coffee with your girl. Like, it's not, I'm a girl, because I'll be like, oh, you're going to get coffee with her, do I come? And I think you can't force these girls to still be friends with each other. I have just never seen yet an example that this has worked successfully. I think maybe more so, I've seen it work only with my gay friends, or my friends who are LGBTQ plus and more. Those are my only friends that I've seen these things kind of work for. But I know it can get messy as well for them. It get messy for humans in general, dating. But those are only people in my, I guess, I've seen a bit too messy.
And I think too with that, it's not that like you have to be like supervising them, but like I think like my best friend, he lives in San Diego. If I have a long-term boyfriend, I would not just be like, hey, FYI, like I'm about to jump on a plane, go see Max for 4 days. Like I'll catch you when I get home. Like that's not normal, even though like that is my brother, like my best friend. It's just like, it's very interesting because it's not that like I would feel the need for him to babysit me, but I feel like it would be weird for me to go fly and see a dude for 4 days, even if that's my best friend, if I had a boyfriend.
So that's what I'm saying. You're going to end up canceling out. That's what I'm saying. And
I know. If my boyfriend better like my best friend, because that's my number one. So fingers crossed on that one.
Then that's when it gets messy. That's when it be a problem. It starts to get tight. Tam, talk about to us how this be working for you. How you feel like people be friends with exes? Do it get too messy? How you feel about this?
I mean, I just feel like at the end of the day, I don't know. Somebody said it in the comments, and I agree. I don't know if it was external. It was something as far as like, what's done in the dark will come to the light. As far as that, if and holding your partner accountable and just trusting, you can't tell nobody what to do, and you just kind of have to. I feel like it's the whole trust thing. If you trust your partner enough to not do anything and y'all have that understanding, I feel like everything should be worked out fine. I don't feel like I have to supervise my partner. I feel like we don't have to be always with each other. You have your set of friends, I have my set of friends. I feel like sometimes when you bring those friends groups together, it can be a lot. Like you have to have your own separate life. You got to be away. Like when y'all are around each other too much, that can be a lot too.
But why does this mean that like not being friends with the opposite gender means you're not kicking it with your friends? Because I don't have guy friends with the opposite. I'm very weird. I'm a hot girl. I do it back. I can't do it no more. Didn't have it in me, so I wanted to settle. But like, I just feel like I don't know, man. I was just waiting for somebody to decide with me, but I guess y'all are too modern for me. I guess.
I mean, like I probably am, because it's just like I just don't see like the issue. I just feel like it has to be some type of trust with it, and especially like your partner just has to understand, like if I have a guy best friend, like, or a girl best friend, because I am a lesbian, it may be different. So like I have.
But can it be somebody that just don't rub you the wrong way, and you like that bitch or that man? He like you. You need to scram.
I mean, yeah, you can.
Like we live in a perfect world where people are messy, though, right? No friend has ever.
Yeah, you could tell that person like, hey, I think they have these ill intentions with you, but that's up to your partner to handle that situation. Put that person, if they feel that, like if they notice it, then put it in that place. Dead that shit right then and there. That is like, as my partner, if I feel this, I'm telling you this, you gonna tell me this. I have to believe you because you have known that person longer. But if it is some funny shit like that, then dead it. I mean, we've grown. Dead that shit. Put them in their place. Let them know I'm with this person. You're not gonna disrespect my relationship. And if you can't understand my relationship, then maybe me and you just have to take some time apart. At the end of the day, we all grown. Communicate. That's it. That's all.
Okay. Now I got one more follow-up question for the panel. Can more friends overcome? Now you got new guy friends coming up. Now I wish this man would come here. Like I got a new girlfriend over here. Now, do they have to come with you and they're here? Like whoever you with, then it's acceptable, or you think you guys feel okay with people actively going to look for friends of the opposite gender?
No, I don't. I think it's that's too far. Like, where are these new people coming from? Like, I feel like y'all have history.
Okay, I was just doing a temperature check to make sure y'all were still alive and like have feelings and jealousy. Because I was just because some people be like making new friends in our social. Y'all know, y'all seen those type of people who are too social, and I'm like, you too social for me. Like,
but at the same time, I mean, it's still. I think it also still does go up again with the trust too, because I mean, I'm a friendly person, so I make friends anywhere I go. But I just think again, it's just about that simple respect. But it does seem fishy, like just having random people and you introduce it to your partner to a new friend every day. Now, where the hell these people come from? But
I think it would be weird for like. So I have made like a lot of new friends like in the past like year. But I have not gone and like actively sought out new guy friends, being like, I need new guy friends. Like a lot of my new guy friends are my new girlfriends, boyfriends, and like their friends that like
they're
they
like
all hang out
extensions,
with.
but you're not gonna text them,
right?
Like, hang out.
Literally one of my close friends, like I'm friends with her boyfriend. I don't even have his phone number. So if I need her to like ask him something, I'm like, yo, can you ask him this for me? And she's like, what? But like, I don't go out seeking new guy friends. If I make them, it's either that they're my new girlfriend's boyfriends or guys that hang out with their boyfriends. Like, I feel like that would be weird. I think my latest new guy friend that I randomly found was Jack. And I wasn't seeking Jack. Like,
but it's like Jack. In work. I was like, in things like this and in work, I feel like people, can subscribe to that and be friends. I'm not like, no, don't, but it's like people you meet when you do. And I think it's like a fine line when you do like media. And like, I'm an actor, so like, it's people who I did have to be friends with, but it's always been in my field. So like I've had friends who are like, oh my God, like, we're just friends. Never would be anything. But I wanted to see how everybody felt about the new ones coming around. Livy Rose, new friends, you good with that? Or they got to stay in the past? We're going to end with you.
I think friends are fine. I think new friends are fine. I think if it's an ex, it's like, I don't know. I would have.
So if you're so let's just put it heteronormative to be simple for the audience. You with a young man, he with a new lady friend. You smooth with that?
Yeah, that's fine. That's as long as.
Don't you tell me about that. I'm gonna be like Livy Rose. I'm like, who is this girl? Let me meet her. What friend is this? Let's go get some drinks with her. What friend is this? You being too nice about that one, Livy Rose.
I'm cool with people unless they break my trust. Like honestly, like if like, okay, so like for me, it's more about like if you have chemistry with that person and like I know you have chemistry with that person, then I'm not about it. And like if you're just like cool, you're friends, like then that's fine. Let's all go out. Like let's all have fun. Like, I'm down. The more the merrier. But, like, if y'all got chemistry and shit, and y'all might have feelings for each other or had feelings for each other once upon a time, me personally, I'm insecure like that. Like, I don't fuck with that. Like,
Okay.
And maybe I gotta work on that myself, but.
Hey, we just ordinary people, like John Legend said. All right, we're gonna end on that note. This show has been the messiest one yet. Between the comments, the fights, the gang affiliations, we're definitely getting demonetized on this one.
People trying to win tonight.
Yeah, people really trying to fight tonight. She said, "When then." Okay.
James wins the comments for the night. James, I will send you a prize. Fun.
And that note, I'm gonna go. He said, "Man, I'm done beefing. As long as China happy, he happy." Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go play some Fortnite. So we'll go ahead and get into it. All right, y'all. All right, friends. This is the Nightcap. Tam, I'm sorry we have you up late. Tam, we know you gotta go. We can't wait to have you on again. We are so excited. Thank you so much to Jack and then to Nicole Tespiana for being our new members and to our old hoes. We got Livy Rose and Danielle and Hare. Listen, it's going to be messy. Good night to you. Hi. Thank you. Thank you. Again, we're going to have to play it one last time. It is the Nightcap Crew.
If I'ma spend, I gotta pay for some friends. Let me pay for some friends. If I'ma spend, shot of brains, your friend.
You all next Wednesday on time, 9 to 10:30. Tam, we leaving out the door with you. We gotta go get this money, and we will see you guys next time. You guys stay on. We're off in 3, 2,